Welcome back to the OTC Women in Esports Tournament. I'm going to be your host and caster, Waffles for Sid, and joining me today is the fantastic Prepaid. Welcome to the stream. And we are excited to bring you our semi-finals match. We are going to see Paradise Lost go up against Ragtag, and they're competing for a chance to go head to head against the Weird Squad in our finals match after this.
hmm
Now, Prepaid, I've seen Paradise Lost play previously yesterday, and they came in really strong. They had some great tank plays coming through, and support lineup was right there, enabling them to take that space. So I'm pretty curious to see what Ragtag is going to bring to the table and, how they're going to perform here on this upcoming match on, I think our first map is Oasis. Is that right?
Yeah, Oasis, and I am also very interested to see what is going to happen between these two teams. Obviously, Oasis is the first map. It's one of those nice tight corridor brawler rooms, and like you said, Ragtag coming in a little bit hot, and the chance to fight Weird Squad in the finals is on the line here. So it's going to be one of those times where everybody's putting it all in. They're not going to leave any cards on the table. They're not going to save a secret comp for later. They are going to bring it all to the table in this match just to get their shot at the finals. So, Sid, when it comes back to who do I think is going to be the favorite or who do I think might win this, I don't think there is a favorite going in this any semifinals match. I think both teams have made it here on the merit of their own play. And that's what we're going to see today is high-level Overwatch.
Yeah, well, I'm curious to see if they're going to also, have really strong communication as far as player and target focus. If they want to have a strong presence in the finals against the Weird Squad, it's going to be a tough battle, and they need to make sure that they are performing as crisply as they can.
Yeah, absolutely. And today we are going to see pretty common comps coming in through here. A little bit of that rush style. Ragtag, on the other hand, I mean, before the doors even open here, we might be seeing a little bit something different with the Brigana, which will be very exciting to see. Maybe they're going for a little bit more of a picky style comp or something crazy. But of course, as soon as I say stuff like that, they swap right over to the old school rush, and they're going to start
There it
coming out on
is.
these points. Yeah, exactly. So
Right.
we are going to see those doors open, and secrets here. First to the point, who can get there? Now, a Hanzo variation is coming through, which makes this a very deadly comp for Paradise Lost. They are going to be looking for those pickups here in the fight, the battle. It starts up on the high ground, and we are seeing the quick kills come through for Ragtag as Cloud finds the second, and the third does go down. But, ooh, that looks like a little bit of a turnaround. Not quite. Sid, a fast start here for Ragtag.
Yeah, Ragtag just got that momentum they needed. And as soon as Paradise was collapsed around, there really wasn't a lot of organization, is what it seemed like, to try to recover and target focus after that. With Lord Enzo picking up Cloud to make sure they regroup to full force before this next fight, Ragtag's sitting pretty up there in the high ground.
Yeah, and I'm seeing here the walls are coming out, but again, they're not super effective like you'd like them to be right there, but they do end up finding Funkmaster getting that first initial set off, and that is going to force Paradise Lost to back off quite a bit. Maybe they can kite it out and find one. Ooh, they do end up finding Funkmaster and Cloud, picking it up on the back end. Poor Lucio, not finding any help there, but it was separated from the team. Woo! Domed him on the backside. Now there's a battle here on the major point. Not going to find anything too quickly, though. The window does come down. Looks like everything's kind of stabilizing here for Paradise Lost, and they are going up pretty significantly in this fight. Hanzo, get up there. Get up there. You find him. Didn't need to. They jump down on him. And yep, does look like Paradise Lost takes this next fight. So, pretty back and forth. But in the end, Paradise Lost only gives up the first 54%.
And Paradise Lost did not have to commit too many resources to take that fight for themselves. They did have to give up the Ant Matrix, but, Ragtag, they're going to have a lot of ultimates online. Paradise kept enough for themselves to really pose a threat and will continue to try to have that opportunity to build up a little bit during this poke phase and then sustain as they try to feed in through this side alleyway.
Yeah, this May in that last fight didn't get quite the value they were looking for, but here we see May now looking for the big blizzard to turn this fight around, but the high noon comes through on the back end instead, and it seems to find the first one. Shatter goes through as well, and here we go. All-Star coming out willy-nilly. Dragon not going to find very much. Boop off the map, absolutely right. And it does look like the sound barrier will stabilize for Ragtag. They're gonna try to pull this one back after losing the first one. And it does look like they are gonna find out the cleanup kills. So the beat turns it around for him, Sid, and they are gonna recap here just over 50% or so for Paradise Lost. So now, this is where the battle truly starts because there's only a couple more fights left, Sid.
Yeah, and well, the change in from Ragtag for Tommy here, he's going to be on that Baptiste, so going to be able to provide quite a bit more healing and damage output. Although he was flooding the kill feed before in the last fight, that Baptiste is really deadly. The stun out of the Blizzard!
Yeah, absolutely, the stun gets the Blizzard, and that Blizzard was going to be very important. I bet the High Noon comes out relatively clear here. Looking for the D-Mech on the Diva. I think that's kind of what they were waiting on, but not going to be necessary as the picks are coming through regardless, and they might even get a chance to save this High Noon for the next fight, as Paradise Lost and Ragtag are trading early in every single fight, and really what it comes down to is when the losing team loses, they don't lose fast, do they? They keep point control for quite a long time.
That's definitely the name of the game for control style maps too. You want to wring out every little bit of percentage ticks that you can, and try not to over contribute resources in the process. Now they are in last fight territory for Ragtag, so Paradise Lost cannot afford to really be wiped from this point and lose possession once again. They need to win, and they need to win perfectly.
Yeah, and this is basically last fight territory. Anything past 75%, you can write it off to your mom because it'll be over if you lose this fight, all right? So, we see them coming up on high ground. Early Dragons, they're going to try to separate them out, but they do end up just getting them back off. No! They find the Lucio off the top! But that, hey, it still might be okay, though. Ragtag still got a shot here. As I say that, the Reinhardt does go down. Going to be tough to turn this one back, but that's okay. Ragtag still got 3 alive, 2 alive. 2 alive left on the point. Can Lucio and Cloud get this done? Come on. It's all on you guys now. And Cloud is going to end up taking a punch from the Diva right to the mouth. And I think, Sid, that will close out this round.
Wow, you know, that was a very close back and forth between the two teams. Obviously, they both flipped the point about the 50% mark for each of them. So around the times they had those ultimates charged up and could really have a flashier fight than one with just your kit only. So to me, that says that these teams need those additional resources to really make those big plays and create those opportunities successfully. And for me, I'm going to be looking to see how they can capitalize with maybe more of just their normal kit on that front, trying to draw out those other abilities and then being able to leverage those ultimates to really end fights before they actually can begin instead of just trying to create the opportunity with them.
Yeah, and as these two teams meet in the middle of the battlefield here, I do want to point that out. The opportunities being created are usually first picks, and by that I mean like Lord Denzo getting kind of picked off early, or even Cloud finding, as I say that, Cloud finding a pick to start off the fight, and that's what's been opening up these fight wins for Ragtag, and especially Paradise Lost as well. So yeah, as we just saw for the first fight right there, again, initial pickoffs, you know, someone being slightly separated out, that's been kind of the name of the game.
Bob, it was 3 health right there. That's got to be a little bit of a stressful situation. Less than 1 hand of hit points for himself. Ragtag, though, is set up on the point, and it's going to be tough to displace them. With Eclipse on this high ground with this Hanzo, no one's going to be able to contest him unless it's the Lucio or Bap, and I don't know if you want your supports doing that too often.
Diva got booped off the map after using rockets, and now the fight opens up for Paradise Lost. Window does come down, they trade back 1, but it does look like the stabilize is coming through. Dragon's going to be committed to this fight. Are they going to be able to find anything off the back of that? They do get a good split off there, and it does look like May has to ice block, so she's out of the fight for a little bit of a second here. Tommy goes down, and I think Paradise Lost might be able to turn this one back, though, because they do find 2 picks, and but the point hasn't been flipped yet. So even though they are slightly starting to bring this fight back, even actually bringing this fight back, the point is still under Ragtag's control. So as much dominance as Ragtag was showing there, Paradise Lost found a way to find themselves back in that fight.
Yeah, and once again at the 50% mark, right? So getting to utilize those ultimates to retake the point, and well, this is a bit of deja vu. Prepaid, they didn't cap it at first, and now they once again brought it back and secured their location. It seems that once they've been set up, They do a very good job at continuing to stay set up.
Yeah, and as much as we think that maybe that Blizzard was going to turn it back around for him, there was still 4 alive left on Ragtag's team. So, I'm sorry, Paradise Lost team. So, there was really no danger of losing the point there. I know, audience out there, you were thinking that that was going to be the Blizzard that set all Blizzards apart, but not quite. Not quite in that one. Made my heart pound a little bit too, but Paradise Lost handled that very well. Now, going on to this next fight. We do have the high noon coming out, but it can be answered by Cloud. Will they commit it to this fight? Looks like they're just going to wait it out, and Cloud finds one on the back end, didn't even need the high noon. He's going to be isolated, though. Does get knocked off the map. That's all right. Bye, Cloud. But Cloud's sacrifice was not in vain as the rest of the team pushes on to this point, and they are finding great success as the last few kills come through. Sid, that was a quick and decisive fight. Not what we've been seeing as of late, but that one was very, very fast.
Cloud moving around to that high ground was a great move for Ragtag. Pulled away DQ Red and brought a lot of focus fire up there. Both DQ Red and Monkey were diverted to take down Cloud. And with 2 people out of the fight, you're playing a 4-on-6 at that, or a 4-on-5 at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Mo is going to be committed, but it's not enough to save Funkmaster. Funkmaster backstepping all the way back to spawn. Hooch on the back end, finding Tommy. Tommy out of position just a smidgen, trying to keep his team alive. And Paradise Lost is going to end up finding this fight again. Another quick one as they get the last little bit of scatters here. Sid, I got to mention this really quickly. These 2 McCrees are finding off-angled picks quite often as we cap it off at 91% here. It switches over, and now Paradise Lost, can they prevent the Cloud from finding a pick on them to open up the fight?
If they can play careful enough around the shield, they need to respect that Cloud has been doing well. Both McCrees here have been showing that they've got a lot of mechanical skills to contribute. And oh, the wall was just barely not enough. Paradise Lost has to hold the point, though. It's going to be capped if they get off too soon.
And there we go again. Cloud finding 2 more to start out, but those were Blizzards committed, so both are down for right now. Kabe and Cliff both finding it, and Cloud, again, popping off. I'm glad we keep mentioning him because he keeps doing it. Look out, Cloud. There we go. All right, saves his life, but it is going to be a mad dash to get back to this point for Paradise Lost right now. They are doing a great job keeping everybody alive to keep touching point. Still contested. And here we go. It is a Lucio stunned on the point. And it does look like the curtains are closing a little bit on this one. Will Ragtag be able to hold it down? It does look like they are. And there it is. We have ourselves a tied series, 1-1, going into round 3. Sid, what did one of these teams need to do to pull away? Because both games have been extremely close.
I think that the tanks need to continue to take the space and hold the space a little bit more, right? We see that our off angles of McCree's are doing a great job at creating those opportunities and getting picks. But it seems like the tanks are getting taken down first and very consistently here from the opposing maze. So some of that pressure needs to be removed from them so they can hold the front line a bit more. We've seen the McCrees get frozen multiple times as the maze are targeting them and someone comes to their rescue. And the maze are not being subdued enough.
Right. It is tough to get, a May under control, They got the freezy gun, they got the icicles, they got the walls, and they got the block. Well, it's a little tough, but
she's everybody's favorite.
Yeah, the no fun character. But back to this game, we do see some lovely swaps coming over. Winston, the double bubble with the tracer variant. So obviously, this is going to be a little bit more fast-paced, a little bit more action-packed. As we see Funkmaster going a little bit too deep, oversteps just a smidgen, but Kabe trades on the back end. So all evened up. We are waiting for this point to unlock, and it has. So now, it is time to see who's going to pull away with this fight. Brigitte making life a little bit tough here for the Zarya. Going to be pushing forward. Big damn coming through, but Anna is going to be able to save lives there. And it's going to be turned right about on Ruby. Ruby goes down. So, right now, Ragtag finds themselves an advantage. Booch going to be trying to find the Anna on the back end. Going to have to get that recall pulled out of her. But Nemi goes down, and that is going to be maybe a switch over for Ragtag, bringing this fight back now. This is point has still not been kept, people. This is still going on. This is first fight, and Booch still trying to bring this back. But I'm not sure he's going to be able to, as Ragtag brings it back to earth for us a little bit, stabilizes it out, and now we're going to wait for the next fight.
Wow, that was a long fight prepaid, and you can see that the Zarias already almost have their grabs built, which, I mean, goes to show you how much work they're putting in to these fights. With EQ Red already at 97, that's quick, and definitely presents an opportunity for Paradise Lost to group up Ragtag and take them down. So they're going to be looking to get a grab that has enough people that they can win the fight, or at least section out the Ana or Brig.
Yeah,
Oh, but the Tracer's down Earth.
Yeah, the Tracer did get picked off a little bit. This is what I was just about to say as this fight kind of unfolds a little bit, is that Hooch has been going in on solo missions, and I would really like to see these teams kind of combo up a little bit. But the grab does come down, committed by Paradise Lost. They are going to find Kabe with that bad sleep, and Blizzard coming down now. Oh, here it all comes. Can they survive this first initial Blizzard? Nano is committed to this fight. We see trades going back and forth, following the McCree now. Gonna find one. Can he find the second? Not quite. But they do still retain point control, which is a bit of a pain for Paradise Lost as they try to commit everything to kill this McCree. Cloud just won't die. They're not letting him die. He's still alive. He's still going. Oh, Anti's going to make that a little bit tougher. Not going to find it either. Got to win the duel. Didn't find it. They still have not caught the point. They are going to get another touch off. Wall goes down. Put that wall down. Let's see one. Ooh, doesn't find it, but that's okay. We are still with Cloud. As this fight is still going on, they still have not flipped this point, even though trades are still coming back and forth. Sid, I would let you get in here, but they're not letting me catch my breath. And it looks like they're going to go even harder now. Yes, Winston's going to find the next one. May goes down on the back of Cloud, finally taking out of the game. And maybe, just maybe, that's what it took for Ragtag to flip this point. I'm sorry, for Paradise Lost to stabilize here. All right.
Yeah, and of course, you know, the last couple percentages ringed out for them to be at 99%, so they are feeling so good after that fight, and it seems like they have got their footing as well from the previous two fights. This is not like what we saw on the other maps with the back and forth. And well, now that Paradise Lost has possession, they don't have any room to make any mistakes. It is 99 and it is all on the line for them.
Oh yeah, and I to your point, as you just said, I do think that Ragtag has a little bit more of an understanding of how Double Bubble is supposed to be played, or at least what the goal is here. As I say that, none of that matters when your McCree's landing shots from the high ground. Does drop to low ground to maybe get a one or two more, but I expect him to get right back up there and keep doing what the McCrees do best, which is tap forehead Sid.
Both of these McCrees are massive threats, and I think that they're not being contained enough. Eclipse on this high ground and Cloud on the low ground previously, both were just animals in the fight, and definitely bring so much value here. Even the McCree. Wow, good thing the pulse bomb landed for that. I thought she was going to get taken down by the flashbang once again, but Ragtag coming in strong as the grab is thrown for them. They do manage to take down a few more people after that, and it is looking rough for Paradise Lost now, Prepaid.
Yeah, Paradise Lost is in big trouble after that fight, and as we see them on the hunt for more kills, they're not going to find it, but they don't need to, because the round is over, and that will be map 1 going to Ragtag in a little bit of a barn burner, as neither team really pulled away until right at the end there. Even in the last round, Paradise Lost found a way to bring some of those fights back, as we see the Diva going to be coming in here. Is it a bomb? It sure is. It was the one that kind of just cemented that first round for him there. And yeah, Ragtag pulling out the first game. So I'm a bit surprised. I'm a bit surprised about how clean that was.
Yeah, you know, they definitely turned the fight around considerably in that last map. It seemed like everyone was synced up better about what the plan and who to target. It did not seem as much as the fight was dragging on and there were tons of stragglers, they were all coordinating around their own and their own people walking back.
Yeah.
And that is one of the hard parts about, you know, control. And as the time ticks away, it slowly and slowly gets harder for, you know, teams like Paradise Lost when you don't have the point at the end to take it back, because it's not like Payload where you can take away their progress when you're in control.
Yeah, one of the craziest things that I know a lot of you guys out there can't see us while the games are going on, but the heart was pounding in that second map when it was going back and forth, and I wasn't kidding, especially even going into the third round where the first fight took a minute and a half. Like that's probably
Yeah.
the one of the longest first fights I think I've ever seen. And I was sitting here rubbing my head trying to figure out, well, how is this still going on? And it was so hard to lock down the tracers. It's so hard to keep the May out, and the McCree, as you said, was just popping off.
Mhm.
So those fights just were so long, and I don't think that was they can't hit anything kind of thing. I think that was a lot of people playing really well.
Well, and that map on Oasis in particular really enables that type of long, drug out fights between the huge column in the middle that everyone is dancing through and around, and that you can juke people out on the sides with. We had the tracers, of course, as those mobile characters, and teams were utilizing high ground. Obviously, that is the big brain play to be doing,
Hmm.
but threats from a lot of angles, and well, the that that middle column, you have to be pretty far around it if you want to actually shoot someone.
Yeah.
It cuts off your angle very quickly, and like you said, some good smart plays coming through. Um, let's see. I am curious to see what we're gonna, what the teams will pick for the next map. It will be Paradise Lost Choice. So I wonder, if we saw them playing a lot of Brawl Rush yesterday. They
Hmm.
looked really strong on it. But Ragtag, I don't know if they want to play that into Ragtag or not, if that's the
Yeah.
best choice on their front.
I do have a quick question for you though, and this is kind of a fun one here because what I was noticing, and I won't spoil my answer here, but do you think that the tanks are playing around their team, or do you think the team is playing around their tanks? What do you think? I was going to answer that, but I want you to
Hmm.
now.
That is an interesting question. So I would say that for Ragtag, the tanks were playing more around the team a
Hmm.
bit, and definitely trying to enable their DPS a bit more. And I think that it's the reverse for Paradise Lost, which is why we saw some popping off from the McCree, but we didn't quite see it always all the time. And why he was also grouped up in with the blizzards when they are caught in the blizzards as well.
Mm. Well, it does look like King's Row will be the next map, and interesting swap here. Before I answer my own question and go back to it, that they are swapping Apom for Nemi. Yeah, right, Nemi. What
Neme.
is Neme? Swapping Apom for Neme. So
A plum for Neme.
we will get to see that. Um, so next map, King's Row. No big deal, as everyone likes to call it, Scrims Row, practice arena, whatever you want to call it. It's still a great map. And to my point earlier, which you answered so eloquently, um, I think that there is such a fluidity going on between the tanks and the rest of their team. At certain points, we see Ragtag going completely aggressive with their tanks on them, right with them as one unit. And then at certain points, we see them break off. Obviously, if they're running the May, that stays with them. But in that last one, we saw Tracer McCree, and they split off from the team, and it was really just kind of a two-man unit out there with a couple of heals going their way every now and then. So I like what Ragtag's doing, but Paradise Lost, to your point, yes, obviously, they're kind of letting their tanks be on an island with some BAP heals, and they are trying to find those off angles, find those big picks, and we saw in a couple of those rounds, it was working. But when Ragtag was able to answer that call, they did, and they met him one-on-one, and Kings Row doesn't always play to that style for Paradise Lost. So I am a little
Mm.
worried. I am a little worried because if you're looking for two units to clash, I'm looking at Ragtag here right now, Sid, for being the one that is definitely the one that meshes better as a unit so far.
Yeah, I do agree on that front. I think Ragtag has some synergy um, that is bringing them. Well, you can see it's helping them win the fights and get those opening picks as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I would actually be really curious to see what, their comms are also.
Oh.
And who is calling things like, oh, I'm gonna go and take this off angle, or and when they're making the decision to uh move forward or around. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting to see that. I mean, if we ever could get the comms, which, hey, one day we might. But in my experience, it has usually been the main tank, especially in that double bubble composition, calling the target. Because you almost never see the main tank diving the other main tank. So you'll never have to worry
Right.
about that. So the main tank is usually calling the target you're on. Usually it's the Tracer, which is where I got a little muffed, if you will, or upset that for Paradise Lost, Hooch was going in quite solo quite a lot of the time, and it seemed as though KB, well, I think KB was on the Tracer. Whoever was on the Tracer, we'll see that in a minute for Ragtag. But whoever was on the Tracer was not letting them. Yes, it was. It was KB. KB was not letting the Hooch do whatever they wanted. They were like shadowing them, if you will. So
Yeah.
Sid, we don't have that anymore. We're back to the McCrees, but we are still going to see the Hanzo variant. So tell me, what does Paradise want to do in this game? We're like, obviously they're going to be attacking first.
Right.
So what's their go button? What's the win condition, if you will?
Well, with the Hanzo, they're going to be looking for picks and
Okay.
to break the shield of Funkmaster. Obviously, there's the wall they're going to need to watch out for, but once that shield is broken by once Funkmaster's shield is broken, they're going to go ahead and know that there's nothing stopping them from defending, and they can rush forward and go on that attack. Obviously, if Eclipse gets a pick earlier, though, that's great. They're man down. Definitely rush in on that.
And as we see, we are back to a classic variance of the rush. We got the Lucio and the
Oh,
Baps,
there's
and there it is.
The
Eclipse
wall's
finds it. Well, MO is down as well. Sid, a prophet. Looking out for the Hanzos out in the world. Take note, this is how you set your team up for success. Finding the opening pick on the Mei. Now, Cloud trying to turn it back around. It does end up finding Eclipse, so we are back to even, and the Mei will be coming back a little quicker. They are going to have to push this advantage, though. I think they already have one tick, looking for a second.
Yep.
Fight happening on the point. Hooch goes down to Cloud, but Punkmaster follows shortly behind that, so still even. Cloud going down now as well. Spawn advantage for Paradise Lost, so they might just continue to keep rushing this point, and it does look like that is going to be the case, and it does look like a lot of stall coming out for Ragtag as members keep dropping like flies. Bap, keep them up! Get out of there! Run away! I don't think they're going to be able to get out, but Sid, tell me about that first fight. What did you see that opened that up for them?
Well, Eclipse picked KB right out of the gate, right? So with the Mei already out of the picture, that's a huge amount of CC that you don't have to worry about. The wall was actually used on the side of the choke point. So I'm a little curious as to, what the train of thought was behind that on that front instead of, trying to section someone off traditionally in the middle like the first Reinhardt. But after that, that spawn advantage came in clutch and they were able to just keep pushing the point.
I know what everyone is thinking here. Wow, that grab only got one. That might be all you need to win, because that is the main tank going down. Eva Bomb coming through, finds another pick. Can McCree stop the D-Mac? He does. So there's still a chance of this fight as we see the rush push through the choke.
Ooh,
Maze
maybe.
both on top of each other, but not going to work out in the end. That is going to be a little bit of a reset for Paradise Lost. Sid, while you were talking, I had a thought. All right? My thought was, what happens if you get stuck at this arch? We have known famously that this archway is a pain for offenses to break through. And Ragtag has a Mei. So what are they going to need to do to get through this choke?
They need to bait out that wall first. And, well, once the wall is out of the picture, they can rush forward and move to break the shield once again. That sound barrier is going to enable them. And, he's already sectioned off.
I don't know how that stun came through, but it did. And it does look like, the Ice Block fails out on that, but it doesn't matter in the end because I believe that was a freeze. And Mei cleans up 2 kills as Funkmaster follows up quite nicely. And poor Reinhardt trying to bring it back, not going to be able to. And again, the hold comes through. I think you're right. You get that wall out first, and that might be one of those win cons. But, I mean, with Rush, once a couple of abilities are used, I feel like it is such a pain to get through these doorways. I believe that this Hanzo needs to find an off angle. You know what I mean? He's got to get up top. He's got to find a way to get that headshot that opens the door like he did on the first point, Oh, window's going to go down, blocked off by the wall. And I'm going to pass it over to you, I promise. But they are not letting me breathe. Hooch on the Mei now as well. And it's going to be the Mei Hanzo now. So they are going to be looking for the Blizzards to be very impactful. Not quite impactful yet. High Noon coming through, finds 2. And Cloud gets a 3rd. So that's a triple kill for Cloud again. Now that we see the comp being swapped around, Sid, do they have a better shot with their own Mei?
I don't know if they have a better shot with their own Mei. I do think that they definitely evened up the playing field for themselves on that front. It doesn't seem like Paradise Lost is rushing in together as a unit. We see Danger Noodle charge in, which makes him way easier to section off than he normally is. And, well, when the Ant Matrixes pop, they're also not, quite up there in the front lines going for the kills. So I like this aggression coming through as they move around the back to try to pincer them off.
Yeah, oh my goodness, you just called it. They said, you know what, screw that choke. We are going up top and around, and I believe it's going to work out for him because I don't think Ragtag was expecting it. Bomb goes out. Oh, tragically finds Reinhardt, but they are up one right now. Up a third. Oh, there's only a few left on, and that is going to be the fight cleanup coming through for Paradise Lost. So, Sid, like you said, evens up the playing field. May comes through. They find a creative path around that godforsaken choke point that no one can get through. Now they're on to street space proper, and here we go. It's gonna be a battle to the end here because they only got a minute 30. Next fight, they got 2, maybe 3 left if they go quick.
Yeah, it's gonna be about rotate. Oh, the pick onto Lord Enzo already. That's gonna be tough for Ragtag to try and hold this second checkpoint here. And with Hooch's Blizzard almost online too, a huge zone clearing opportunity for Paradise Lost to just roll. Oh, but Hooch has just died. That opportunity's been taken right out from underneath them. Prepaid. The dragons come through, and so does the sound barrier to reinforce them. And it's a good thing because it is a tough battle here. Funkmaster gets that pin. Kills are going back and forth between the two teams, but all in all, Ragtag coming out on top a little bit after that. They do have a bit of the spawn advantage, but it's been a long walk for both teams as they are still fighting it out on the point. The DMEC coming through, and oh, there's a little bit of an escape coming through from Paradise Lost as they're gonna go ahead and regroup after that.
Yeah.
They do have Hooch's, the pick at the end.
No,
Sorry,
I think that was a reset.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Okay, but like I said, 1 to 2 to 3 fights maybe if they go quick. That wasn't quick, Sid. That took a solid minute 10.
We haven't seen a quick fight yet.
You are totally right about that. So, this is looking like last fight territory. Oh no, Eclipse going down on the fight before the fight even starts, but they are going to commit the Blizzard. They are going to try to bring this back. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to find very much. That is looking like panic for Paradise Lost. They're just trying to get into this fight as fast as they can, even though members are down, just launching ults at it. Not going to be able to find very much. If they get this DMEC down, though, doesn't quite get the DMEC down. Lucio finds it right away. So now, it is looking like the end of the road, if you will, for Paradise Lost on King's Row. We got ourselves a bit of a hairy situation for the Paradise Lost camp fans. They have got to hold not only first point, but only 3/4 of second. Sick. It's a long road.
Ooh, yeah. And, Kings Row is one of those ones where the streets phase can really get away from you. Most hybrid maps are like that, where this second phase, if you can't successfully stall it out, it could easily get steamrolled straight on through. And Ragtag doesn't even need to make it that far. So Paradise Lost definitely needs to be careful about what type of composition they're running. If they do go with something like the May, I would like to see them actually use the wall in that primary choke, or maybe by the statue to try to create those isolation opportunities. But it's gonna be a really, really tough battle for them on that front. Hooch has been doing some great work, and I don't know if it's going to be quite enough to shut down Cloud. Cloud has been absolutely devastating to the entire Paradise Lost team, either putting in the damage to the front line or finding those picks from his off angle. So some type of containment does need to be given towards him.
Yeah, so Ragtag maybe playing some mind games out there. Had KB go and kill themselves on Pharah to make them think it's going to be a Pharah comp. So let's see if Paradise Lost falls for it. I'm sorry. Paradise Lost falls for it. So we got the initial fight coming through proper here. Ooh, all right. Ryan going down awful quick, but Doom also goes down on the back end. So it's going to be fairly even. DMEC does come through. Funkfester finds that one, and it's going to be a wall off here for the May. Not sure May's going to get out of this pickle. No, May does go down, and that is going to be a fast first point take for Ragtag. Just flexing the muscles, not giving them any room to breathe.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cloud, even though Cloud went down first as that Doomfist, the damage had already been done after they sectioned off Danger Noodle and took him down very quickly. As soon as he was isolated, Ragtag saw him, went ahead and collapsed right around him very quickly. And well, they came back so fast. They were able to hold this just before
I
prepaid. Oh my
can't
gosh!
believe
What a
what I just saw.
sliver amount of the point left. Holy smokes!
Sid, if I had to bet $1 million on that point cap, I would have, and I would be $1 million poorer. That was something. I'm not going to put any descriptor words on it because I don't have any. I've never seen that before. And the high noon fighter, ooh, the boop up gets the Diva Bomb kill, and it does look like Ragtag heard what we had to say, and they want us to use different descriptor words like amazing and great because they did not like the way that Paradise Lost charged the point and took it back.
Yeah, probably had a little bit of a. Okay, we were just a bit too overconfident there on that last push. You know, got a little relaxed and complacent. Came back and went for the win there. Oh, a nice little Doomfist perch for anyone who doesn't quite know it yet.
That is some
Cloud
Doom
is going to
tech.
be so deadly. Oh man, I feel bad for whoever from Paradise Lost he decides to jump down on first. It's
What
going to be
is
one of those
this?
poor supports probably.
Yo,
It's gonna be
Sid
Frontline!
finds one immediately. Doom just opens the door with the map going down. Diva Bomb going to be committed to desperation, but the Blizzard is also down. Finds one. But even with that rollout, Paradise Lost says, not today, sir. Commits the beat, trying to find more kills, and they do. Funkmaster goes down as well. Oh, KB, you gotta run. You gotta get out of there. Cloud and KB get out. What a rollout. What a way to open up that fight. But in the end, it was even trades, and both teams lick their wounds and go back to the corners.
Yeah, and well, Ragtag here is pushing this point. It is almost to the end, and they've got a lot of ultimates online to utilize prepaid. Oh, the flash comes through, and that sound barrier reinforcing them. That's going to tell them to be aggressive and to go.
Absolutely, they're committing window now as well, and it does look like Doom's looking for a little bit more of a setup. Finds it a little bit here. Gonna get the ice block out. You don't see that every day. Flying ice cubes. But he is going to go down, so Cloud did open up the doors, though. Pushed everyone back, and it does look like Ragtag is going to follow up in kind. And oh no, I forgot. That's the end of the map, Sid.
That's it.
That's the end of the map. That was last fight, and that was so quick. Cloud putting on a show
man.
with this Doomfist.
And the McCree, jeez. You know, Ragtag did a fantastic job, and there it is, Cloud as the McCree getting play of the game, so this probably is not that surprising. The real question is it two high noons? Who else does he kill with his normal Peacekeeper? There it is.
Diva. You hate to see babies going down like that, but it just is what it is. You hate to see it, you know? Sid, we saw, I know what you're going to, maybe I know what you're going to get into, but we saw Cloud popping off. But I gotta hand it to the healers out there. They definitely enabled this team to get going. Like, Cloud wants to be that aggressive. He fails 9 times out of 10 if his team's not there backing him up, Sid.
Oh yeah. How many times were we saying, "Oh, Cloud, he's still alive. He hasn't gone down yet. What's gonna take to take him down?"
Yes, we did do that.
That's fair. It's a long fight.
Yeah, well, it was both of us. Yeah.
Well, when we're saying things like that, there's no way that's happening without that sustainability from those supports. And he was being very much enabled. And that's the type of teamwork that, you know, Overwatch takes to win, as far as knowing what strengths your teammates have and how you can continue to enhance them, because those supports were not getting picked off very frequently. They were still being protected even as they were pocketing Cloud. And that's the other type of component that comes with, you know, the team elements. And Cloud wants to be sustained so he can do the damage. He better protect the people keeping him alive.
Absolutely, right? And we see the pedigree of both of these teams, right? One team, star power up the wazoo with Ragtag, right? You have certain individuals just going in and even other individuals enabling them to be at their very best. On the other side, we have Paradise Lost, the team play, having so much trouble in that second choke and having the ingenuity and creativity to take it upstairs and drop the hammer in the basement, because they went all the way up and down and around in order to break that choke open so they could even get it to where they did get it to. Now, obviously, it took them a little bit too long to do that. So didn't give them enough time or space to eventually cap second point and let us see what they had on third point. But that's okay because we did get to see their style of Overwatch, and I actually do think it's one of the main reasons it got them here into the semis.
Yeah, and that's nothing to scoff at either. The semifinals is a tough place to claw your way up. You have to go through many battles in the process, and well, the fight does not end here for Ragtag. They're going to go up against the Weird Squad here for our finals coming up soon. And prepaid, it's going to be an exciting battle. We've seen the Weird Squad, we've seen them in various other cups as well, and they are definitely a force to be reckoned with. And I'm excited to see Ragtag come in. We've seen the amount of value and damage that can be outputted from this team and how they can move around so quickly. I don't know who's going to win the next one, but I know it's going to be close.
Now, I got my money. If Cloud plays the way Cloud played in this one, Ragtag. I know Weird Squad, pretty good, and I wouldn't put anything past them. But I'm telling you, if Cloud and Ragtag bring in what they brought into this game, it's gonna be a bit tougher than I think Weird Squad thinks.
Yeah. I do know that Ragtag is going to need to respect the DPS on Weird Squad, though. And I don't know if they're going to be ready enough for that on that front. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the finals are going to be coming up next. And don't go anywhere, folks. So stick around. We'll be back soon. If you like what you saw, you can go ahead and follow Prepaid and I on our Twitters as you see them below. Make sure you join the OTC Discord and follow their Twitter as well as this Twitch here. We'll be back shortly with the Weird Squad going up against Ragtag for our finals for the OTC Women in Esports tournament. See you then, folks.
Hello and welcome to OTC's Women and Esports Championship Finals. This is it right here. And if you look above us, we can see that it is Weird Squad versus Ragtag. I am Light Rose, and joining me is Waffles for Sid.
Hey, what's up, guys? Stoked to be here, and thanks again for having me back.
Yeah, we're all here to finally see the end of the last, today and yesterday, of course, and it's a culmination of Weird Squad and Ragtag, and this is a matchup that we've actually seen before, and it's one that I got to cast, and it wasn't exactly one-sided, but it was definitely favoring Weird Squad.
Yeah, a little bit of a scale tip in the weird
Mm-hmm.
squad favor going in. I can see that. I'm sure Ragtag is looking to prevent a repeat of history. I hope they've taken some notes since their last encounter and have, come up with a better game plan as far as how they want to proceed and approach this rematch with Weird Squad for the championships.
Yep. We got that first to three, and starting off, it's gonna be Oasis. And now we actually did go here once again with Ragtag and Weird Squad, and as it was a Weird Squad 2-0, they took it not definitively, but it's kind of the story of the match that it just seemed like they were the ones in control of the entire thing. And going into this, we're gonna see if whether Ragtag is ready to compete or whether it's just gonna be we deja vu. We've been here before.
Right. Well, Ragtag did just come off, hot off the last match at a different win for themselves. I gotta say, Cloud was absolutely popping off. His support line was there, backing him up every single time he wanted to take an off angle, and he was being sustained way too long in a fight.
Already starting this off, and we're already seeing Weird Squad take that high ground, and these Maywalls are so important in these fights. They can really change the course of everything. Kylie set off a little bit. They are going to be on that low round, just peppering everybody, trying to get the first pick, and that is going to be on the May of Weird Squad. So Ragtag already taking this first team fight, but as we've seen before, the team fights might not last too long, as Weird Squad's always going to be ready to take it right back.
Yeah, and well, both teams here do have a mirror comp, so it's going to be a little bit of a who can do it better with less resources type of competition. And well, Ragtag holding this high ground here is a great spot to force Weird Squad to push into. They can collapse any way they want around them, and if they choose, pincer around.
There we go, the amplification matrix of Tommy using the shatter of Bogginly, not going to find anything as his Funkmaster straight through that amplification matrix does so much damage. And there we go, still Ragtag, they look in control right now. Is this a different team? What we see with the team, the remech of Leo Cakes. Oh, the 250 damage is just, it's so powerful. And some might say a little too much, as it's Leo Cake's actually gonna find two with the boosters as well. Look at these unconventional ability kills.
Yeah, well, I have to disagree with you on the mech damage kill. I think from a purely physics standpoint, I love the fact that the weight of a mech will kill you.
I mean,
And I also think
yes.
she should have a voice line right after that just says, squish, right there, nice and clean.
That would be very, very, I think, cute, and it would be very fun. But I'm thinking this competitive standpoint, some people just find that frustrating. It's just a simple click of a button, like the Doomfist ability, and it's just it's fun to see. But in the end, is it a little overpowered? As we're already seeing this fight occur, and Ragtag having that advantage already with accelerators, just going out early again in the remake kill of Leo Cakes, and there's another one on the side of
I gotta
Oh
say, I
my
think
God.
these remake kills are a little bit of a disrespectful type of kill as well, because Baby Diva is the squishiest, most vulnerable character in the whole game, at least in that state. And the fact that she has the audacity to walk up that close to you to try and get that kill, essentially she is just cruising for a bruising, and if you can't punish her on that front, definitely feels like a little bit of a backhand to the face.
I mean, for sure. Weird Squad, they're getting to the point, and these Maywalls of Accelerator have just shut down any access to the point. They made these fights start off really in their direction. Here comes the Blizzard from Accelerator, as once again it is Weird Squad getting that early advantage in the fight. And we're getting to the point where now Ragtag really can't afford to do anything, just reaching closer and closer to that 100%.
Yeah, KB has gone ahead and switched over to that Tracer as well, so gonna have a bit zippier of a backline and provide an opportunity to get some damage and draw fire away from the direct front line that's been happening.
Yeah, the front line for everything has just been... Weird Squad's been able to throw so much at Ragtag, and they haven't really been able to do anything. Because here we go, we're gonna find another one! No! Sadly, Leo Cakes, I think, gonna have like... They had like 3 or 4 remet kills on that round.
Yeah. 3 for Leo Cakes and 1 for Ruby is what I recall. And, well, it's a good thing there's no Zarya on the field at this time, because I'm sure we would see a Grav mech kill.
Oh
What
boy.
do we call that? A mech summon?
Well, if Space Jam, I know that's what you call the Zarya, what would you call it?
Zarya Doom? Zarya Diva? Okay, food for
Yeah.
thought later. And Chad, if you have any great ideas on that front, we'd love to hear your creative input and what we would call a Zarya Grav with the Diva Remet combo. Weird Squad is going to be bringing out a much faster and more mobile composition than what they previously had. The Echo, the Hammond, that Tracer, they're going to be coming at Ragtag from all angles.
They're also going to take the high ground early, which is a very, very important part of this. But already, Accelerator, they've been the first pick in almost every single one of these fights, especially when it's gone to Ragtag's direction. But as Tommy goes down, it is going to be a 5v5. One losing a DPS, one losing a support. And the fight really hinges on here. But as Leo Cakes gets demeched and the rest of Weird Squad falls, it seems that Ragtag once again is going to take that point early. But as we've seen, that it doesn't matter who takes the point early. As Weird Squad, you know, they were later in taking that point, but they held it and won it.
Yep, it is definitely too soon to speak for, you know, who has the best and who's going to maintain control over this point. We do see Nyan Socks over on that Brig now, so not going to be as fast as when they were on the Lucio, and going to be able to, you know, protect their Ana a lot better as well.
Yeah, protecting your Ana is very, very important, because what Ragtag had problems with in their previous one was really...
What?
Oh, I think Boggingly might have caused a car accident.
Roadkill.
A giant hamster going into traffic is not something you see every day.
Yeah, and well, you know, definitely was not in their intentional plan of trying to move for this next fight. So, oh, we have a pause actually. Wonder if maybe they had a little bit of connection problems. Maybe that's what caused Boggingly to accidentally swing too far into traffic, you know, playing in the road.
Mhm.
Never the smart move. But you know, Ragtag here does have possession of the point and a few ultimates coming up. So I'll be curious to see if they can continue to cycle them and use them in a conservative enough manner to, you know, keep the space and the point in their favor. We don't want a repeat of what happened earlier in with their matchup against Weird Squad previously and the map before of, you know, capping it first and then not quite being able to set up your defense in a way that's able to handle the dives that are coming through and the pressure.
Yeah, and well, hopefully that really comes true, as they've gotten farther than they did on that first point, you know, hitting 52%. And you mentioned the ultimates. We can look at that and just look at Ragtag, how much they have built up, how close they're already getting a full 6-stack, but the great eat by Ruby shutting down anything Weird Squad has. And now they're seeming to struggle. They're low on ultimates. They're, you know, losing control of the point, and this bomb is gonna find 2. Great Kobe. Great job by them. Or, not Kobe, Cabe, Kobe. You know, however you say it, they're definitely pulled a Kobe right there, and they're
Right?
reaching 85%. Weird
Yeah.
Squad only having a nano in their pocket. Ooh, this isn't great for them.
KB definitely did a beautiful fadeaway pulse bomb as they dipped out and got that 2K. Ragtag's ultimate arsenal is gonna be so difficult for Weird Squad to push into, and we're in last fight territory.
Oh, a nanoed Wrecking Ball versus a nanoed Hiding McCree, and that flashbang is gonna put in death to so many members of Weird Squad. And then another one falls. It seems that this second point is gonna be over to Ragtag. Just the question is, how long is it going to take before this stall ends? It's just Kylie left on point, but not for long at all. And there we go. We are reaching that 1-1 margin, as we're still at this point, we're just wasting time. There's real no chance of Weird Squad coming back. And there we go. We're a little bit even up here.
That was a considerably better performance from Ragtag than we saw on the first map. They 100% zeroed Weird Squad, and you know, I've seen some similar patterns from other teams where the first map, the first engagement and round that they have against the other team is a massive calibration period for them, trying to see how exactly aggressive they like to play, how much they can get away with, and you know, how much respect they actually need to be paying some of the other hit scan characters on that front. And I think Ragtag might have shaken off some of those initial calibration cobwebs that it takes and gotten a better read for what they want to do against Weird Squad in today's finals match. Oh, the wall finds no one. That's huge. Good opportunity for Ragtag.
Yeah, but it does shut off a little bit of access that Weird Squad has, you know, making sure Weird Squad has control of that point and that choke point in general. As once again, that wall it's just going to shut off access, but it's actually going to allow Reinhardt to die, and Leo Cakes gets the Mex's Ragtag. They once again, this is the third point in a row that they take it for the first time.
That time they did a great job at just continuing to push forward and rush the targets that they wanted to remove from the fight. Leo Kicks was demeched very, very quickly and did not have a lot of time to heal up and really any opportunity. Cloud has been being hard-pocketed by his healers, and he is bringing a ton of value to his team, getting those picks early, and the flashes have been so devastating in nullifying some of the oncoming attack.
Yeah, completely. The CC just disrupts the enemy team so much, and that boop is going to take out Anion, and there we go. The Mei as well as Lordenzo is going to find two environmental boops, wanting to find another one, but they've definitely done their job. As Ragtag looking so strong, especially from what we've seen when they played Weird Squad last time and that first point.
What a great use of the speed and healing coming in from Lord Enzo, just waiting until the Weird Squad had pushed through the choke point a little bit, and then they all sped through. They got the boops off as well that were a huge benefit, and well, now this Blizzard is the Blizzard is eating both of them! Oh my gosh, double time!
Yeah, just that mirror coming out in more ways than one. Is that Shatter's actually not going to find anything from Boggingly? The ults on the side of Weird Squad just really have been nullified. They just haven't been able to find anything. Luckily, that's going to find something, and that's going to allow some sort of entry as Funkmaster dies, and the shield as well. And as that Maywall is going to split up the rest of Ragtag, this should go in the side of Weird Squad. We do see the McCree and May just struggling just to find anything. And finally, in the last desperate attempt to switch the point, that is going to happen. It's 91% for Ragtag. 92%.
And Tommy has been pocketing Cloud so well and keeping his team alive fantastically. There is a lot of sustainability coming through, and some of those characters I would have thought they were going down much sooner, but saved just in the nick of time. Now it's going to be up to Weird Squad, though, to hold defensively very, very strong. That Ant Matrix used early is going to be so the Fire Strike just seals the deal for them there, taking down the Baptiste, and with both supports out, it's going to be a total reset for Ragtag.
I've noticed something, especially when comparing it to, last time these teams played, is that Tommy is very good at sustaining the rest of the team. In the previous match, Tommy went out early in almost every single fight that these teams had. But now we see that they're staying alive for a lot of these fights, and therefore Ragtag is being sustained so much, and that allows just for them to really start winning these fights is the Shatter coming out.
Everybody!
It's gonna do so much damage. Oh, here comes the High Noon, and it's gonna find one as well in a great combination of ultimates on the side of Ragtag. They're gonna clean up, swap the point, and this map should be theirs.
Yeah, it's honestly theirs to lose at this point. It's going to be a stall tactic coming through from the Weird Squad, and those ultimates that there it is. Yeah. Nice. And yeah. So Ragtag goes ahead and takes this first map win at Oasis. Obviously, they have decided that history's not going to repeat itself, or at least they're not going to let it repeat itself easily.
This is going to be a match that is going to be hard fun. Just look at the combo of ultimates. The Blizzard, the High Noon, the Shatter. That's a hard way to really defend that. And that's why Weird Squad are going down in that first map. Yeah. And as you mentioned, this is a change of times as Ragtag winning the first map against Weird Squad, changing the course and changing that pattern. As we're going into that second map, Weird Squad does have this map pick, and as you go, I believe it is going to be hybrid. What do you think we might see from Weird Squad? What do you think you could gauge from what you saw in that first map?
Jeez, with hybrid, King's Row is always everyone's favorite choice, and I hate to always default to such an easy, comfortable pick. So I want to say, personally, I would love to see um, hybrid wise, I think Blizzard World would be a really nice change of pace. I would like to see that the divas are utilized on those high grounds more, taking that space, and really see if Weird Squad can, do a little bit better on a double bubble or a dive comp against Ragtag, because obviously Ragtag was doing very well with this May McCree comp. And I'm not sure that if they're on their groove right now for such a brawl rush, I don't know if that's what Weird Squad wants to enable them with.
Yeah, the difference, I don't want to say that boggingly. The Rhine difference kind of seemed to be a little bit elevated, that we saw boggingly got shattered multiple times. I don't think they weren't really able to compete with Funkmaster's Rhine. They
Yeah.
seem to be more comfortable on those dive tanks. So I think going over to something like Blizzard World would definitely help that out. Going more for that dive comp, not wanting to go for a mirror comp, I think would help
Yeah.
Weird Squad in this map.
Yeah, or they could pick Hollywood actually. Hollywood isn't bad for the May McCree comp as well. If they wanted to have a little bit of flexibility between which one, I don't feel like Hollywood is quite as punishing for some of it's got a little bit more flexibility for some of the less desirable comps to actually work, especially if they're playing off of their opponents and what they need to either shut down or contain. I do think that Cloud from Ragtag they are on point today. They were on point last game, and the heals coming in from Tommy are invaluable for him at this time.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. We have King's Row up next. It's a shocker. We've never seen King's Row before. But King's Row is where we are going to be, the great old land of Britain. And it is going to be Weird Squad's pick. And they did win out against Ragtag last time on here, just like they did Oasis. So, we might see some change of things. But they completed the map with a massive amount of time. I believe over 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And that time difference might be the difference maker,
So maybe King's Row is comfort row for them.
Totally. And I mean, I feel like that's for a lot of teams. King's Row is that map that really everybody knows how to play. It's something that you can
start calling it.
Yeah,
That's
lean back
Brim's
on everyone.
Row, comfort row.
Goats. Was it Goats Row? Or something.
Everything was Goats Row for so
Yeah.
long. It wasn't just King's Row for that. It was just goats all day, every day.
Oh, take me back to those times. I know people didn't like it back then, but it was a very different time than what we see now, and I think it's a variation because you look at back then, it was just that we gotta run goats. It's the one thing we gotta go, and then right now it's like, let's just run something. It's we don't have to stay in this May McCree. We're seeing a lot of, the Reinhardt, May, McCree, this kind of cornering composition. But
Right.
in reality, we are allowing there's a lot of heroes that can be played. There's a lot of variation in the comps.
And I think that means that the game is in a good place, right? The fact that you don't have the same exact team comp or characters being picked every time shows that you're not going to be seeing a very stagnant gameplay or style that you can expect. And, well, on King's Row, it can feel that way a little bit, so it's up to the teams to actually make or break it for themselves.
They're already starting it out, and right now it's Weird Squad trying to get around this Mandata statue. That seems to be the focal point for all of this. The the shield for Funkmeister goes down, and the Immortality Field trying to find something as Kabe is going to be able to find that freeze headshot onto Kylie. And that might put a dent in this attack, but it is going to be a 5v5. Losing that Reinhardt is a huge hindrance, and especially that Maywall goes down the Shatter. Already not even a minute gone by, and it's Weird Squad with the full wipe, and they are going to get this point early. A great Shatter coming out from Boggingly.
They weren't ready at all for a Shatter to be online, and although Funkmaster is close to theirs, it's not quite enough there. Boggingly just came out of nowhere, and once everyone was down, the follow-up was pretty much second nature for the rest of the Weird Squad. They are setting a very blistering pace, like you mentioned before, so pretty curious if Ragtag is going to be able to shut this down with their Amp Matrix and their own tank ultimates online.
Yeah, that Amp Matrix going out, and the Maywall gonna shut it down for just a little bit. The Shatter only gonna find one. There's really gonna be no follow-up. And the ult impact, I think, can tell the story of each of these. As the Blizzard gets eaten so much, both of these Divas just so hungry tonight. And as we just see that Maywall going down, the impact of the ultimates really can tell the story of this match. And if one team's ultimates just make that much more of a difference, then they really are going to be absolutely winning in these fights. As Weird Squad, they're having to back up, that Blizzard being eaten by Accelerator, that's just a huge blow.
Yeah, and I have to say Ragtag was actually in this position before last match where they were defending this archway, and they did a fantastic job at managing it, so a little bit of deja vu for themselves on that front.
Yeah, Soundberry gonna be trying to find something, but there's just so much damage coming in with Cafe's headshots, and they found the McCree, but it's absolutely not gonna be enough. It's Boggingly getting that another Shatter, allowing for the cleanup. They really have started to come alive in this map, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, now that the cart is moving, it's going to be a lot easier for them to, try to keep this momentum and take this space before Ragtag can, pretty much infringe upon them pushing the payload. They do have another Amp Matrix online that they can try to engage with, but other than that, it's going to be a little bit of poke phase before anything's truly online and available.
Yeah, but if Weird Squad can win the poke battle, then they should be really, really looking good. But the split here is going to be absolutely huge. And here comes the Blizzard from Accelerator, finally not eaten by Leo Cakes. And it is, look at the split coming out from Weird Squad. You see Cloud on one end. And there we go. Weird Squad still winning through despite the lack of real power in ultimates. Only Accelerator coming through there.
Yeah. They did a fantastic job resource-wise, and I'm actually surprised that Ragtag decided to continue to chase the couple of members of Weird Squad that had been sectioned out. When they did that, they overcommitted and pretty much put themselves in the middle of Weird Squad and were collapsed upon from both sides. Reinhardt charged in, and the Amp Matrix was popped behind him to keep him alive and throw additional damage to follow up. So it was really nasty for Ragtag after they decided to move forward. But that bomb, 2K, it's going to be great for them as they were going to stall out the second checkpoint and, well, send Weird Squad back to spawn.
The further up you can keep that cart on King's Row third point, the better you really will look, because King's Row is a slog fest, and especially the closer you get to that defensive spawn, it is just stall hell. And, you know, if you're keeping this early, that 330 time bank, even if we do see Weird Squad win this, that's going to be drained so easily. So the High Noon, it is going to push the rest of Ragtag back. That really was that kind of zoning ultimate. It's not going to do much as Ragtag's still pushing on forward. We see Niansox going down. It's kind of just hanging out, hiding. And they're not going to be able to do much. It's actually, they didn't do much in terms of damage, but I think in terms of focusing the attention away from the front line, that, you know, that's something you don't really see often.
Yeah, a bit of a flank Mei as an alternative option. You know, she was very, very distracting and pulled a lot of resources from Weird Squad. Both Leo Cakes and Kylie were trying to deal with him in the back, and this High Noon from Cloud on the high ground, potentially from the back line, could be devastating.
Oh, the High Noon here, but look at the Diva, and actually even the kill onto Kylie is going to be good. I don't know if they're going to actually survive this yet, especially with the sound barrier, but they really did their due diligence as the fight strike. Ooh, the double damage fire strike of Boggingly, and just swinging away. It's going to keep pushing that card forward. We've still got a long way to go in that card. It looks like, you know, the end is right there. But still, you've got a long way to go. Weird Squad, they have the Blizzard, High Noon, Bomb, Shatter. They've got a lot to work with here. But will they use it sparingly? Will they use them smart to really push this card all the way forward? No, High Noon from Cloud not going to be able to find anything. As the Blizzard, it's on the Leo case. Another Blizzard! Oh my god!
2 for 2.
It is just 2 for 2. These Divas really have been making their worth, but it's still Weird Squad at the end of the day that's coming on top. Liu Cake's not even having to use that bomb, and in the end, Ragtag going to really bite the bullet as it's just one left on card, and there we go. A minute 32, pretty good time bank in terms of things.
Yeah. You know, a good enough time bank where if you need to, if it goes into a 4th round, you have a solid potential 2 fights minimum, maybe 3. But I have to say, Weird Squad's communication between Boggingly and Anyan has been phenomenal. How many Fire Strike kills have we seen come through that Amp Matrix? Countless times. One after another. Every time it's thrown or pop, either one is thrown. The communication is there and the timing is there as well. And, you know, it's just not quite enough time for Ragtag to respond. They keep getting clipped by those devastating, you know, fire strikes that come through the Amp Matrix. And it's some of the small things like that that I think they need to clean up and avoid. It's going to be a lot of responsibility on Ruby to actually negate that damage coming through. Divas in general, big primary role is also preventing those fire strikes from finding the value in the charge, especially when Boggingly's Earth Shatter was charged so fast in that first fight. Those fire strikes need to be.
Yeah, I mean, we know that the Divas, they've got their amplification matrix ready and locked in as the countless numbers of blizzards that have been eaten. It's like they're hungry for some Dairy Queen, I'll tell you that.
Hungry mechas.
Yeah, they want the blizzards in their mouths. And already Ragtag, once again, this Mondada statue that's really the focal point. That CC is just going to deal so much damage to Funkmeister. And now the split is the focal point of this fight point. And now it's Ragtag. It's just, we're playing Ring Around the Rosie at this point. Is right. The rotates have just been really, really thorough on each side. As it's Funkmaster who's trying to get something done. They're at 80% to the Shatter compared to 40% of Boggingly's. But there is going to be a trade now. Cloud and Anion both going down each. Which one is going to be more devastating to each? And here we go, the Amplification Matrix. We've seen the Fire Strikes find one apiece, but it's going to be nothing for the Funkmaster, who has 93 on that Shatter. And Boggingly is not ready for this. And this might put a nail in the defense of Weird Squad, which is already looking really pretty sparingly.
Oh, nice job coming through on that front. And, well, just by the skin of their teeth, the Weird Squad has been able to come back and try to recontest this, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, Light Rose.
Yeah, how many can we count before these get it's like typical. We expect these blizzards to get eaten rather than actually getting deployed. And even though we saw 2 coming out in Weird Squad, it seems that in the end, the blizzard from Cap 8, it's so thorough. These defenses, they're trying to put something, but as both Cloud and Ruby find one. I can't even say whether these fights are really going the way of Ragtag, even though they're finally going to cap the point. It's been such a long fight with trades on each side.
Yeah, and it was not an easy fight won by any means. I like that Ragtag here is taking the space and getting aggressive, because getting these picks mean that valuable time is they have time shaved or added to their well. There's time taken away for them as they're walking back from spawn, and that means Ragtag can push the cart forward as, you know, pretty much uncontested. Boggingly going down as the main shield, and you don't want to push without your main shield unless you're the San Francisco Shock. You know, Ruby's been doing a phenomenal job. I think she might have heard me and said, yeah, fire strikes are important, you're right, but look at all these blizzards I can eat.
Here we go, the first engagement happening, and once again, that shield going down. No San Francisco Shock Weird Squad are not, as they are also going to lose Kylie. And even though there is going to be a little point contest, sadly, Nyansox, you're really not going to do much in the grand scheme of things. Is going to this 3rd checkpoint. Ragtag look a lot better in Weird Squad, especially look how far they're pushing up. They want to get this cart far in this 3rd checkpoint. They want to make sure that they're not stuck right at this point, as I believe they're going to get around 4 minutes and 30 seconds to push it all the way to the end. So they have around 3 minutes if they really want to get the better of everything. High Noon is actually going to be able to fight Kali. Is Blizzard eaten, add another tally. Like, I don't understand how the Divas do this.
These divas are pretty much off the charts on that front. You were right when you said that we don't really expect to see blizzards thrown anymore. We just expect them to get eaten one after another. And what a fantastic performance from both divas on the field right now. Obviously, you know, Ragtag pushing forward. They're going to have a couple of ultimates, but this is a slog, like you said, and it could easily be stalled out here just before this 3rd point. So gotta be careful on that front.
Look at all the ultimates being used, the High Noon, the bomb, everything, just to try to get something done, and no kills come of it. It is Weird Squad that is able to find Funkmaster, so if things go right, then they should be Weird Squad's defense staying on through. They need to find one more for the troubles to really put the nail in the coffin. It is going to be Ruby, but his accelerator goes down. Yeah, the May. Luckily, that frag really not going to do anything. There we go. Weird Squad stopping the momentum of Ragtag.
Right, stabilizing there right before the 3rd point. So Cart's going to be backing up a little bit, but right now Ragtag is going to be looking to poke Weird Squad a bit, try to see if they can get some of the ultimates out. If Nyansox's sound barrier is used up early, there's not going to be a lot to help them recover or essentially give them a saving grace or Hail Mary save from their support line.
Waiting for this early engagement to happen, and it's Kylie with the double High Noon. And there we go. Nice work, slipping off and going into those houses, those Omnic houses of King's Rush. Just look at all the members of Ragtag taking a dip. And Funkmaster, I believe that was a fat finger, and
oops.
Not the best position to fat finger, as that's going to be a really big hindrance. Look, Boggingly, they're going to have that shatter. Now you've got to start all the way from the beginning. Cloud, their High Noon, just pushing them back all the way into this corner, as that might give the advantage to Ragtag if they can find something, and a great flashbang from Cloud. It takes out Boggingly, and they're going to have no shatter to use. And one more, and that's the May down as well. Cloud just finding all these heads, and that bomb putting an end to the life of Nyansox. So if they can finish off this McCrean Diva really quickly without allowing Boggingly to get that shatter, even though they actually got it off, a great cap by Ragtag in about 16 seconds more, and seems relatively equal.
Yeah, I mean, 16 seconds is not a huge amount of time in Overwatch. As far as setup time or ultimate charging time, that's not what's really going to make or break make or break whoever wins this face off. Um, Ragtag did a great job of continuing to move forward. I liked that, even though, Weird Squad was bunkered up, well, not bunkered up, they were set up very well defensively for that third point. They were patient, they pushed in and forced out a couple resources, and then, well, once again, Cloud popped off, got those picks, and Ragtag knows that when Cloud pops off and starts clicking heads, you click W or you keep him healed, and everyone continue to collapse on that target.
Yeah, a McCree with some deadly aim is just something to really, really be afraid of because how much consistent damage he can put off, combined with the flashbang, sometimes with that amplification matrix damage boost, it's just really nothing you can do. Your shields are not safe. Your diva mechs are not safe. Nowhere is safe from the
Right.
line of McCree. And Weird Squad, they want to cap this early. That was definitely not a problem for either of these teams, was capping that first point
True.
early. We did see Weird Squad, they took it a little easier than Ragtag when it came to this, especially this early fight. They won this relatively easily, but as Cloud takes out Kylie, that might not be the case, and they want to find something that is going to be Cloud, because as both the DPS for Weird Squad go down, there's really no damage to keep this fight going. They aren't backing off just yet. That Maywall is really making sure, but if they actually win it out against Ruby, the spawns are really going to allow Accelerator and Kylie to come back, as the Shatter from Funkmaster is going to be brought down, but sadly, no follow-up is there. And as Cloud comes back to help the members of Ragtag, things are equal once again.
Yeah, great job coming through from Ragtag, and this Ant Matrix could be what continues to enable them to hold this point. The other one has been popped in response, and both main tanks are down. That sound barrier is going to make it tough for Ragtag to try to choose through the members of Weird Squad, and Leo Cakes with another Blizzard Eat. Are we even surprised anymore, Light Rose?
Absolutely not, I will tell you that, but Cloud's stuck in that corner. There's no consistent damage anymore to back this up, and as Tommy goes down, the heals, the damage, everything is just falling apart. Here comes Kylie, I'm sure, with the high noon, but no, the damage is going to be enough. And there we go, Weird Squad, they should cap this point, but now they're in overtime. They cannot get off this objective. They have to push it as far as they can, and they have the ultimates to back it up. You've got Accelerator's Blizzard. You've got Kylie's High Noon. The bomb from Leo Cake's probably just going to be used in case their mech gets destroyed. But Bogginly, you got no one behind you, buddy. You might want to be a little careful up there.
Just a shield and a dream holding the front line. Uh, that's okay. You want to take a little bit of space. And, well, with Ragtag, they have some other zoning ultimates they can use to force Weird Squad either to use abilities to stay on the point or, hopefully displace them. That Diva Bomb, they'll engage, and Cloud's High Noon gets an opening pick after she launched her mech for the ult. What a timing!
Yeah, and as Kylie is going to find the other end of a bullet from Tommy, seeming that the damage dealers for Weird Squad are going down, and that Shatter is going to put a definite end to that round. It's 4 minutes and just past the arches of King's Row. Definitely doable for Ragtag, as they've got a little bit more time just in case things don't work in their direction, but Weird Squad definitely have the guts to back it up.
Yeah, we've seen strong performances from both of these teams, but I will say I think that last fight was a very coordinated fight from Ragtag. They knew what they wanted to do, who they wanted on high ground. That High Noon found massive value that I don't know if they were entirely ready for, but no one's going to complain when you find value. Um, I am curious to see if Weird Squad is going to have the same defensive success that they had on this first point. I do think that they managed the May ice wall sandwich scenario a little bit better and more calmly than Ragtag, which is why we see them why I feel like we seem to see a stronger performance on that front from this area versus the streets phase. But uh, we'll have to see if Weird Squad can actually leave it and, bring this competition to the table. There's not a lot of room to wiggle around and goof off here. And if they want to win these championships, they're going to have to take this seriously and be aggressive for this win.
Yeah, ice cream sandwich, putting up that main wall and icing whoever you see. As Weird Squad wanting to get these early engagement, they want to drag these fights out, but also make sure they win them in the end. As it's really just poke damage coming on through, wanting to destroy these shields. Tommy goes down, and now this fight is really going to have to back up. And that's really, really going to be beneficial towards Weird Squad. That puts your fights maybe 1 to 2 maximum. And you're also looking at the difference between these shatter charge rates. You've got Boggingly at 70% and Funkmaster only at 30. So a shatter, especially later in this fight, could be the death blow to this attack from Ragtag, and they definitely want to get something done here. An early pick from Kylie is needed, but it's actually going to be the charge onto Accelerator. There is going to be a trade happening here, but then it's still Funkmaster who just finds something, and they have 3 to their name, as this point is looking even more like Ragtag's as they're going to cap this up. The High Noon from Cloud going to make sure that they have this point in the bag, as they're going to actually cap this with time.
Wow, Funkmaster there with a nice hat trick on the board. He did a great job creating that space and, well, found more value than Boggingly regardless of the Earth Shatter. Now, though, they're recontesting the point. It could be tough.
D.Va DMEC not going to be there to eat up that Blizzard. Sadly, we're actually seeing them going through as Cloud's going to be able to find 2. And while the contest is there from Weird Squad, they're actually going to have to back up because they're still going to have to contest the objective once it rolls on through. You see that now overtime has been reached, but they just have to get to that little tick mark, that yellow tick mark that you see at the top of your screen to win Kings Row, to go up 2-0 to match in series point. But Weird Squad have something to say about it. They've got the High Noon, the bomb. They have a dueling sound barrier. So looking at that, but you also see the Blizzard rates. Accelerator, very, very close compared to Kabe's, only 30%. And if that doesn't get eaten by Leo Cakes, that could really be something. The D.Va Bomb's going out. Is one going to find something? No. The sound barrier is popped on each end as its ultimate's thrown all over the place. The amplification matrix happening. And as the go down, it's Ragtag finding 2, finding 3. And as Leo Cakes Dexy Mech, that's another one on the side of Ragtag. And it seems they're going to push it all the way to the end. Ragtag going up 2-0 against Weird Squad.
Wow, I gotta say, great job coming out from Funkmaster on that Reinhardt. Obviously, we're gonna see Boggingly's play of the game here, though, so let's not cut him short on that front, because, geez, so many people lined up in that alleyway for him. Just no question there that it was time to shatter. On the flip side, though, Funkmaster was also getting some very, very strong shatters, and well, the cleave damage that he was doing to follow up and enable to commit when he was following up was actually what helped him continue to get the kills and the true value. Earthshatter's great. Stunning all 5 people, 6 people on their team is great. But if no one is there to get the kills, they're just going to stand back up and continue shooting you like they were. So, it takes a little bit of finesse and timing on that front. I do want to call out the divas. What do we see?
mean,
The fact that Blizzard getting eaten now feels like a little lackluster because they're just doing it so regularly because they're that good.
I
I would
feel I
hate
think
to go up against
I'm
them.
very glad we did not go to Blizzard World, I have to say. Because it was not Blizzard World right there. It was, yeah.
No, absolutely far from it. And, um, this is really showcasing what these Mays do as far as how much value they bring with their kit, their plain kit, and without having Blizzard on the table. Um, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you know SVB and his gauntlet challenge. But what he does is he has people who take different disadvantages on their plate when they're playing, and one of them is you can't use your ultimate. And that is exactly what the Divas were doing to these Mays during this game. Uh, just negating their ults that they worked so hard to charge and spent the time to
Mhm.
charge, gone. And I was almost hesitant to stop including Blizzard as a resource in the fights.
I mean, yeah, I mean, totally. I mean, you really have to cater a lot of that to just the divas in general. Leo Cakes and Ruby. They just both did a great job of, even when one ate it, they were just right back to eat another one. It seemed that they were equal on both sides, and that's something you really have to mention. But going on to this next map, it is going to be a payload map, and it is once again Weird Squad's pick. Ragtag, they're on match point, and I think this mirror comp really isn't working out for Weird Squad. It seems that there is a duel happening, like there is a brawl, but it seems that Ragtag, they're winning it out 3 out of 4 times, and that's really not beneficial to Weird Squad. So I think going on something like Dorado is not going to be helpful. That's that kind of close centered, definitely Ryan May kind of meta comp is
Yeah.
something that's really not going to help you. What do you think we could see? Because the mirror comp just is not working out for Weird Squad.
Route 66 may not be a bad option for them. I'd be curious to see if maybe they have some sniper firepower in their pocket that they should bring out and avoid such a head-on brawl and try to uh force Ragtag off of such a close encounter. Eventually you can break the shields and continue to just pepper them from all the angles. And Route 66 does have a lot of that high ground that you can play off of.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly do want to see some variation in this comp. Definitely see Weird Squad hop off possibly that mirror, go for counter picks, just something that really benefits their play style and not, kind of fitting into that box that, oh, you gotta play this comp. You gotta
Totally.
mirror it up everything else because
Right.
we've reached the point where it's past, warm-ups. It's definitely this is just not working out and something has to change. But I mean, who knows? They could be just like, all right, third time's the charm.
Right. Well, I think maybe trying to change up their DPS for a little bit different type of attack instead of just going, May wall isolation, flashbang if you need, and then pump as much damage in as possible. Trying to sneak around a bit more as far as use the sides. I'd like to see Sombra thrown in the mix. Sombra is someone who can easily negate a lot of abilities. I mean, obviously that's her thing is to make you playing in a game that everybody is special and has all these crazy abilities in their kit. And being pretty much stripped of that, you're a sitting duck. And I think that if that was taken out of the equation, the May was hacked early, the Rhine was hacked early, and that information, as far as the scouting information, completely invaluable. Knowing where the enemy is and they don't know where you are, that can help you create those positional opportunities and continue to capitalize on people who are out of place.
Well, I guess I'll have to eat my words sooner or later because we're going straight to Dorado. I mean, that was the one map that I was like, I don't know if Weird Squad should go there, but they're like, no, we're gonna go there. That's going to be the Mexican town that we're going to visit for this third and potentially last map as Ragtag. They are on that match point, and I think there has to be a comp change. I can't see. I mean, I know Accelerator's walls, their May walls have been really good, and that's something that we definitely have to look at for Weird Squad. That they've
Yeah.
had those abilities to shut down, but it seems that every single time Ragtag has just had a May wall of their own to back it up. So you're not really gonna have that advantage. So a comp change I think is definitely what's needed, but I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening.
I am hopeful that they're actually going to go maybe something more like double bubble or dive. Dorado has a huge amount of high ground that you can leverage, and The thing about Dorado is it's a very long walk to the high ground. I would argue it's some of the longer walks in comparison to other maps, and a lot of people have to utilize their abilities to get to the high ground fast enough. And so characters like Ash and oh, this Echo that we're seeing from Accelerator, I think that would be fantastic for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is the attack, so that, they definitely
That's
have the
true.
ability to swap things up on the fly, but I do like to look at Ragtag. Look what they're bringing on that defensive side. They're bringing that double hit scan, a little variation with the Winston and the Zarya. This is completely different than what we've seen, and I love that because we're going to see a lot of different play where we're seeing the Mercy. This might just help out for the Widow possibly, but no, Kylie's not going to actually just get the early pick. They're going to stay on the Widow, and you mentioned the Sniper. It is time for Kylie to reign supreme, and Tracer has found them. Oh no, the hunt is on.
Oh
Kylie
no.
might not be long for this Earth. But sadly, they are going to get some support. And it's Cloud who finds the first pick. And it's Accelerator as well. The Revive doing nothing in the end as Cloud
Cloud.
kills the Reviver and the Revivee. So, yeah, I guess that's a triple kill for the Troubles.
Yeah, I mean, just a little hat trick there is he kills him, kills the res, and he is the support. So, nasty 3-stack coming in from Cloud, and well, I'm pretty sure he needs to be taken out. He's definitely at a disadvantage when going up against Kylie, and is going to need to continue playing around some of that cover so he does not get picked off.
Yeah, if Kylie can apply that pressure, then that really could be big, because just look at the reign that Cloud has over this entire payload point. You just see that really no one's safe. Just the damage that Cloud is able to dish out compared to everything else. I think Boggingly hopefully looking to do something as Cloud duck in that animation is not going to be able to do anything, but Funkmaster and Kabe looking to avenge their fallen McCree. And there is going to be a 4v4 as the next pick could decide the turn of this fight. It is going to be Ruby and Winston who go down next. So there we go. Weird Squad going to be pushing this payload further and further up, but they still have to get to this first checkpoint, and that's going to be a struggle as Ragtag is going to have those spawns to back themselves up.
Yeah, Weird Squad did a good job of recognizing that Ragtag was spread out and covering each other's off angles really, really well, especially for Cloud on that far side. Kylie's switch over to the McCree themselves, I think, has been really good for dealing with the front line and all the damage coming through. Obviously, Accelerator here doing great work as that Echo too, and the Primal Raging Winston in the back is super deadly. Rez has already been committed early.
Yeah, and now as they're actually, we were close to losing Accelerator, but they're going to get healed back up. And as Tommy, those main heals and the main tank damage is going to go down. It should be Weird Squad that pushes it all the way. You just see Kabe desperately trying to hold the point. They're not really going to do much. It's going to cap with a decent amount of time. That was a good push by Weird Squad. Once they got past that first, hurdle of at first area with Cloud, the reigning supreme over the high ground, and it really wasn't much trouble for them. But the second point could change things up. You do see not many ultimates on the board for either team.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a dry fight here as each people are going to charge up and try to find some opportunities. Now that Weird Squad has a couple online, they're going to continue being aggressive here and will look for that opportunity to use the nano, engage probably on Boggingly himself. There it is, already coming through so he can take people off that high ground.
Yeah, and both Funkmaster and Lord Enzo going down. It seems that Accelerator will be taken down, but that revive, that Mercy allowing you to get back up in the fight is just so strong, and Ragtag don't have that in their back pocket. So essentially, you're playing with an extra man if you're Weird Squad, if you play your cards right, of course. But Accelerator going down once again. It's happened like 2 or 3 times that Nansox has got that revive, and Accelerator's just bit the bullet again. So hopefully that doesn't happen as we go on to this. But Cloud taking out Boggingly, that's sadly going to end the fight right there.
Yeah, well, Accelerator was still walking back too. He was taken out, rezzed, and then taken out again. So, not gotta walk back the second time. But Weird Squad has so many ultimates online. It'll be interesting to see how Ragtag, cycles through their own to mitigate some of that damage. Oh, Boggingly gets dropped a little bit low before the fight even started.
Wow, they're trying something super sneaky, and they were actually really, really close to get to the altar, but not going without Cloud, without Kabe getting the 3K, and just, taking out both the supports and Accelerator. My, and though, taking us, you've earned your rest right now.
Oh, that is a fantastic job and a nice little clean up punch on that front. I'm surprised Tracer doesn't have a cute little bow emote after something like that. That would be nice. Like a
Oh,
little
I
hat
need
tip off.
that.
That would be actually most characters need something like that. Like, oh, playing the game, quick celebrate. Anyways, Weird Squad's got so many ults online though. Geez, it's really going to be what do they want to pick and how can they use them to displace Ragtag off of the high ground.
Yeah, this High Noon gonna be trying to get something, but yeah, but the members everywhere, and there we go. That res being a big factor, and you saw the benefit going to Ragtag, and in the end, it's just gonna be Weird Squad coming out with Accelerator finally getting something on the board other than a death. It's going to be that spray and the sticky bombs, putting that to good use. And there we go, Boggingly finally taking out Cloud, who's just been so strong in this game. Accelerator actually copying the McCree, trying to counter of Cloud's. McCree doing so good, put that to good work, and to reach the 30-second mark. I think Ragtag has done a really good job of defending these points.
Yeah, I think I saw a nanoed Mercy there at the end. So interesting choice coming through from Ragtag. Ragtag's been doing a good job at getting the first pick, but they're not stopping the res, and after the reses come through, they are, losing the fight. So they're overcommitting a bit to that first one and just devoting too many resources to it.
That's a very interesting choice to go onto the Wrecking Ball, because that means that you're dedicating yourself to that stall, and to swap back on over to the Winston. I do want to call it. That seemed to be a questionable pick, because you do lose something of that Primal Rage and just the bubble, and that wasn't a good choice to really swap on over to that, because the fight was not in your favor. You did not get something from that, but Nyansox going down with the really quick High Noon from Cloud. There is going to be a trade, but there is going to be no res on the side of Weird Squad, and there definitely will be one on the side of Ragtag if they choose to go for that swap onto the Winston, as they're going to pepper that back line, and so close. There we go. Mercy of Lord Enzo dropping, and hopefully trying to find something else as Accelerator punches the monkey of themselves, or the scientist, excuse me. Still just in the backline making work of Weird Squad. Excuse me, Ragtag.
Yeah, and the mindfulness coming through from Boggingly was fantastic. Waited, engaged naturally. Then, as Lord Enzo went to fly away, used his kit to, chase her down, and then eventually removed the support from the equation. And that is a go button for the Weird Squad after someone that important goes down.
Boggingly dying just as the Primal Rage came out. That's extremely unfortunate, as even though Kabe is going to be able to be traded out, the spawns are really going to be beneficial towards them. You're able to take out Kylie and the Ana as well, and Ragtag, they want to put an end to this attack as well. The High Noon isn't really going to do much, as Leo Cake's going to find a double, but as Nyansox isn't going to be able to put out that healing or that reviving, there's just going to be a battle on both sides, 1-for-1, tit for tat, but the spawns are going to be there for Ragtag, and in the long term of things, they are going to have this advantage in the fight, but they actually need to find one of each. The Soldier going to be back. They swapping on over to the Lucio Wrecking Ball. The spawns are there for Weird Squad, but it seems in the end, the picks just aren't going to be there for them, and they're not even going to be able to take it all the way to the end.
What a great defensive hold coming out from Ragtag at the end. The first point was really solid, I was a little concerned that the momentum coming in from Weird Squad during those street space was going to be too much for Ragtag, as there was a pretty fat time bank after the first checkpoint was capped. Um, but Ragtag picked it up. They started really being able to handle the onslaught from Weird Squad. I think that this church area that they continued to engage in was so devastating for Ragtag. Weird Squad won the battle up in that church every single time, and just pumped damage in through the doorway and shredded Ragtag before they had a chance to uh, get out of the doorway and shoot back. So I'm going to be looking to see, if Ragtag can engage a little bit differently on this streets phase. I don't think that part was working well for them. Um, I love that the, Widowmakers are being picked for some of these attack phases. It's a great change up to what we were seeing.
Yeah, and on the defensive side, not exactly a Widowmaker, but still kind of keeping in line with that sniper-esque role. It's going to be Kylie on the Ashe, this is the first time we've seen them at all this entire match. As Ragtag essentially have to push it all the way to the end to win this match 3-0, a real change of pace from their matchup against Weird Squad. Oh, no! Early, it's going to be Cloud taking out Anion. The res going to be there, but that's dedicated so early in the fight, and that disrupts this defense so much. Now, Ragtag having the advantage is Cloud. They're looking pretty strong. They're pretty confident taking out that Ana early, and Ragtag, they're pushing up Ely, and Cloud finding another one of Accelerator. And they are just finding the heads of all members of Weird Squad right now.
Oh my gosh. And he was okay, finally he's taken down once again. But there are trades back and forth, and the spawns are going to be in favor of Ragtag close to the point here. So obviously this Widowmaker yielding huge results from Cloud, and well, it's really forced Weird Squad to play much more conservatively behind cover. Oh, okay. Stick did not quite roll through. We can see the pulse bomb mid-air in the pause. So quite a unique moment we actually probably get to see. I hope this Mercy does not overfly
Yes.
into it though.
You just see Nansox looking at it like, uh-oh, I don't
Uh-oh.
want to be here.
I need to release my Guardian Angel instantly when the game is unpaused, so I just stop on a dime.
You saw our faces for just a second.
Oh,
No! You had the chance! Nansox, no!
I feel for you, okay? My heart goes out to you, Nansox.
Yeah, but that doesn't even matter as Cloud is avenging whatever teammate they have, as they've been finding bodies every single one of these rounds, as Ragtag getting close to finishing this checkpoint off with a real good amount of time, as that sleep is going to deal a lot of disruption to Ruby, who needs to just find one more pick to really finish this out. But it seems that Weird Squad, they found their footing, but as I say that, it is Ruby and Kabe who find one of their own, as it's the Nanode Ashe trying to get something of their own, and sadly the remake not going to get anything there. And right now, it's just trade after trade after trade. Ragtag, they seem to be on the end of it, but just as I say that, it's Kabe who finds a self-destruct to the face, but in the end, Ragtag getting the point, getting the time bank, and just, well, these fights are so long and they're so back and forth. It's a slog, and I've said that before, but it honestly is just a slog.
It totally is. It feels like we are walking through some fresh powder snow, and it is back and forth. It's really difficult to tell who is actually going to come out on top. And I think that goes to show that, these teams probably need to focus fire a little bit better so that crispness comes through and targets are deleted. I feel bad for this Tracer who might get her head taken off.
Oh, honest
Target.
Accelerator kind of playing with Cloud a little bit there, but that's a dangerous game, I'll tell you that.
It's a game I frequently lose, is what I'll admit to. But Cloud has been so devastating on this backline and on that Widowmaker, and they got to do something about him.
I mean, taking a bob to the face is probably something that will definitely help, but now it's not Cloud you got to worry about. It is Kabe, and now your backline is gone. Your ability to flank is gone, and they're going to find themselves a hat trick, as some one of our in production likes to call it. And now Cloud, once again, I mentioned Cloud. It's not Cloud you need to worry about. It is Kabe.
Yeah, these DPS from Ragtag are just so lethal, and if it's not one with the damage boost you need to watch out for, it's gonna be the other. And well, Lord Enzo has been popping around left, well, to each of them, and everybody who needs the damage boost and enabling those kills really successfully does get taken out by that primal rage, but not before Kylie goes down themselves.
Seeing a fight happening as well, and even though there is going to be the heal loss, you see Lord Enzo coming back from spawn and Tommy as well. It seems that the damage is going to be there. The frags helping Weird Squad in the end, but is the man count actually there for Weird Squad? I don't think they're going to be actually able to really pull it out. It's just, there's on both sides, there's so little man count that it's just a real fight to the death, and it's Anyan taking out Ruby and just 1-to-1-to-1, and I think Weird Squad, they're gonna be able to hold it just at the last second.
Yeah, I mean, 1.5 meters left to move. Tommy moving over to the Ana instead, and oh, Lord Enzo also on the Brigida as an alternative. KB goes ahead, gets that early pick, but Ragtag is still going to be walking back and regrouping to get to the payload for their next assault. Like this little Tracer duel, well, it's not a duel when your diva's helping you out, but it is a showdown. And, you know, forced a little bit of ground off away from Accelerator. Tommy, the bloodthirsty support! Woo! Starting off the kills.
You could hear in Tommy's head that they had accepted their death, standing still and accepting the stick. But once again, Kabe and Cloud finding one apiece, even though Leo Cakes and Accelerator getting one of their own. So it's just still these trades going on and off and on and off again. But Kabe is still just deadly as ever, and it's still the nanoed Winston, even though that self-destruct is going to take them off the point, and just taking it all the way to the end. That's all Ragtag has to do. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and they have to do everything they can to end this match. And I love to see Kylie swapping over to that Widow, providing a challenger to the Cloud.
Totally. I was going to call that out too. I think that that is a great opportunity to pressure Cloud off of the Widowmaker, or, you know, at least encourage him to change after he's used his ultimate. Ruby, though, has been that commit of the self-destruct I liked. Just go ahead, let's cap this point and get the payload moving so we have the close spawns, no questions asked. That is the safe and smart move to make, and, well, ensure that your team is still in this fight.
Yeah, Ragtag's getting to the point where if they win this fight, then they really should finish it out, especially if these kills are close in succession. Now they want to find one open engagement, and that is going to be Kabe onto Kylie. No opponent to Cloud this time around. The self-destruct from Leo Case trying to get something, but he's going to find nothing instead, and it's Accelerator picking up the slack that sadly the bomb could not do. Onto Lord Enzo. Anion getting low. They have those flankers in their backline. See Accelerator having that pulse bomb. They want to get something. They're finding the stick, but it's going to be the Widows who actually get one of their own apiece. And just right now, Accelerator doing something, but in essence, it's Weird Squad winning this fight out. We're getting to about a minute left, and this is getting to the desperation hours right now.
Yeah, well, right now Ragtag is at match point, so Weird Squad needs to do everything in their power to hold the point here and stay in this series. Ragtag's gonna have the Rally and the self-destruct online, and well, they're engaging with Rally, and everyone is gonna be so beefy going into this fight.
It's interesting that they choose to pop it that early, and especially now that Cloud is gone. You lose a fighter and a lot of the Brigitte armor, because that is going to decay in around 15 seconds. You're seeing it already start to. The bomb is not going to be able to find anything. And Weird Squad, they do get anti-native. Great purple coming out from Tommy, who's extremely low on their end. The tanks just in the backline trying to take them out, and it does happen. That is where Weird Squad finds their victories, when they take out Tommy early. And as we reach 15 seconds left, it seems that Weird Squad finally might be able to take the first map in this series, Dorado, but it's not over yet. We see Ragtag, they do want to touch this point, wanting to get this into overtime as Tommy's gonna come back, but I do look at Accelerator. They're at 90% with that pulse bomb. If they're able to find Tommy in the backline, then this could be it. It could be over, but Accelerator having the duel on his Kabe who is going to be traded out. Kylie in the corner, wanting to get another pick as it's a 5v5 left. We see Ragtag pushing it up. This is the time, now or never. That headshot's really not going to do something, Kylie. You should not take that. And now the pulse bomb going to be stuck, but it's still that trading. It's respawns are happening, so it is back to a 5v5 as Ruby's going to take out that point, but Cloud with flanking McCree is going to find two, and that's both the DPS of Weird Squad. Even though Lord Enzo is down, the Diva as well, the bomb is not going to be able to find anything. It's Cloud dealing enough damage as Kabe is going to find that self-destruct, and it's Ragtag. Desperate. They're going to finish it out and win 3-0. It seemed that Weird Squad had it, but they just let it up in the end. Great play from Cloud with the flanking McCree. Nobody saw that coming. Winning 3-0, Ragtag.
Wow.
Woo.
I mean, I definitely thought Weird Squad was gonna be able to stall that point out there at the end. Great shutdown of the high noon coming through from Leo Cakes, but yeah, at the very end, great job coming through from Ragtag to just turn that fight around by the skin of their teeth. Cloud was just on fire. He was on fire the match before. Both those DPS were hard hunting on the other team, and man, do I feel bad for the receivers on that front. You know, engagements from Tommy allowing that aggression, enabling it. Fantastic gameplay coming through from Ragtag, and nice to see that they had a bit of a fire lit under them after their last encounter with the Weird Squad.
Yeah, and I honestly can say I did not expect this. I did not expect such a strong showing from Ragtag, especially the 3-0 Weird Squad with how their last match went. Ragtag looked refreshed, ready to compete, and they really showed it. But Ragtag winning out the OTC Women in Esports tournament 3-0 against Weird Squad. That has been this entire weekend.
Ooh.
It's been a great couple days. We saw some great Overwatch. Got to cast it with a couple great people, but I'm Light Rose, and this has been Waffles. This side, you're on this side. It's Waffles for Sid.
Yes, and you know, Lyra, it was so fantastic casting with you today. Of course, big thanks to OTC for having us here, and you know, make sure you follow them below in their Twitch and Twitter, and you know, all the platforms on that front. Big shout out and thanks to Meilu,
Yes.
who put this whole thing on, brought you the production and all the magic behind the scenes
Hmm.
that, well, without her, there would be no esports for us to watch. And, you know, for putting together such a great tournament that does focus and highlight some of the women in esports that we have. So, of course, you know, for me personally, a big thanks on that front. And well, a huge congratulations to Ragtag for becoming the OTC Women in Esports champions this year for 2021. Brr, 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 brr. Nice job for all of you. And, well, like I said, congratulations on your win.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a great couple days. We've had a ton of fun, and we hope to see you next time. It's been such a blast. We'll see ya.